Okay, okay.
Yeah. Hey, hi Raj.
Yeah. Hi, Vasu. Good morning.
Good morning. So how are you?
Yeah, fine, Vasu. I hope you are doing good.
Yeah, good Raj. Good. So I'm just giving the self intro and I'm just starting with the mark directly. Okay. So
Okay.
can you list some popular frameworks in Agile?
Framework. It's in Agile you are asking, right?
Yes.
It is. Yeah, there is Scrum.
Hmm.
Scrum framework is there. Kanban framework, and then continuous integration, continuous development. These are the lightweight framework. And for the heavy framework, we can. What are the heavy framework? We can say. Um, Safe. We can say in heavy framework. Uh, okay, these are overall about the framework. It is a lightweight framework and it is in a heavier framework. That's it.
Okay.
Agile is a methodology.
Yeah. Okay. So how do you conduct a sprint planning meeting?
Yeah, sprint planning meeting is the. It will be at the initial stage of the initial for day one planning. Before entering into the sprint work, we need to analyze what are the things we need to complete. What are how many story points are there, or how much. Before that, we need to go for the quarter planning in a small room planning like that. We need to calculate how many epics need to be completed within this quarter. The epics has been by using the planning t-shirt technique. We need to point out how many user stories need to be completed, and then user stories need to be analyzed by using a Fibonacci series, and with the help of the planning poker tool, we need to analyze how many story point need to be complete within one user one within one stories of the particular sprint. And then we need to analyze if there is any impediments over there for the sprint. We need to analyze in the same sprint planning, and all towards to achieve the sprint goal. Actually, it's all the sprint planning. Actually, the output of the sprint planning is sprint goal. Actually, the product backlog need to be get planned for the to achieve the sprint goal.
Okay.
Sprint planning output is for sprint backlog. Actually.
Okay. Okay. So, what are the agile principles you know? How many agile principles we have?
There are 4 agile principles:
Okay.
individual and interaction over process and tools, and then working software over comprehensive documentation, and then what we can say customer collaboration over contract negotiation, and then respond to change over following a plan. These are the 4 agile principles.
Okay. So, can you tell any one story splitting technique you know? Story splitting technique. Story splitting technique.
Yeah. Uh,
Take your time, no worries.
yeah. 1 minute. Spike, we can spike is one of the story techniques.
Okay.
Splitting technique you are asking, right?
Yes.
It's Moscow actually. Must, should, could, and want.
Okay. So how? Okay. So tell me, like, how do you split with the Moscow technique? I'm asking, how do you split? I'm asking the story splitting technique. So you're having a user story, right?
Okay.
How we are split?
Yeah.
So the technique to split that user story, I'm asking, how does Moscow fit into that particular technique?
No, sorry. Actually, it is not Moscow. It's a spider actually. Spider is the splitting technique used to split the story. Yeah.
What does spider
Spider, yes.
stands for?
The definition stands with S for spike, and then P for path, and I for iterative, And then D for path and
Okay. What does
R
D
for
mean?
rules, and then D for data and rules.
Okay, good. Okay. So, okay. So how do you assess a Scrum team progress?
Yeah, we can access that by the daily Scrum call. We can view the progress of the team, how it's going towards the sprint goal. By using the burn up and burn out chart, we can analyze the progress of the sprint. And then what we can say,
Yeah. Okay, fine.
depend upon the velocity.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Okay. So, who writes user stories in your project?
In my project, as my experience, product owner will write the user stories actually with the help of development team. Requirements from the stakeholder.
Good. So, who is creating the definition of done in your project?
Definition of done. It will be the definition of done. Product owner will be responsible for the marking the definition of done. It should be in the acceptable way that what are the requirements we have got from the stakeholder. It should be in the acceptable way that all the product backlog are prioritized and it's all worked towards the sprint goal, and it all get satisfy the rules of the Scrum, everything. This will be the primary thing.
Okay. So, what do you think should be the ideal size of a Scrum team?
Ideal Scrum team, it will be 7 plus or minus 2.
Okay. Good. Okay. So, who owns the product backlog and the sprint backlog?
Product backlog from the sprint backlog. Developer team is owned for that actually.
Development team owns what? I asked two questions here. One is product backlog and one is sprint backlog.
Product backlog will be owned by product owner, and the product backlog will be split into, it will be split, it will be moved to sprint backlog, and the sprint backlog need to be handled by the development team.
Good. Okay. So, okay. As a Scrum Master, how can you keep motivating your team?
Motivating the team, we need to look. This thing, for example, I will go and I will explain what are the things we have done, what are the good things it has achieved, and if there is any shout out over there, I will shout out over any particular individuals over there, and I thank the team actually. And then for making the team engagement, I used to have small fun activities over there to make the team engage, and to these other things I used to follow.
Okay. Okay. Can you tell what are the steps for a conflict resolution?
Conflict resolution. Conflict resolution.
See, consider there is a conflict in your team. Okay. Maybe between the developers or between a tester and a developer. So how will you resolve it? What are the steps you will do for resolving that conflict?
Actually, if there is any conflict between the developer and tester, I will arrange a small meeting between them, and I will discuss what are the problem really facing, what are the implements that are making potentially risk. Actually, I will discuss all the thing, and then I'll make it. I will add on a user story along with that. What are the product backlog we have received at that meeting, and we can resolve it actually.
Okay. Okay. So, how often are you refining your product backlog?
In a sprint, twice we are refining the backlog at the day 2, and in the day 7, we will use to refine the backlog.
Okay. What are the typical impediments in your project, and tell me which you have resolved?
Yeah, the typical impediments, I think the dependency is the more potential impediment that I faced. It is, that if we as a developing team, they need to depend for some other teams to resolve the impediments. For example, I will consider for testing, it may depend with some other teams. In order to, as per the sprint planning, we have everything is discussed over there, and it is at the phase of testing. Some in my experience, I faced that some of the teammates that may be in absence of some emergency situation. I faced that situation. Actually, really, I faced that things in my previous organization, and then I sorted out with cross-functional actually techniques. I just go with my team and discussed if anyone can pick up this thing if it is aware of these techniques or like that. And then if anyone is ready to pick up that, I will resolve it using that actually.
Okay. Okay. So, do you have any experience with the working agreements? Working agreements. Do you know like why we need a working agreement for your team?
Working agreement is the commitment given by for the every individuals actually. It should be committed towards the sprint goal.
Okay. 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 So, what are the 3 C's in a user story? And can you tell an example for a user story?
Yeah, the 3 C's are card, conversation, and the confirmation. And the card, that what are the it like of board, smart board, like what are the things need to be done, to do list, what are the completed list, and what are the improvements over there. We need to move that user stories from which level we are doing on the daily basis. The conversation is what are the interaction we did with everyone, like face to face interaction over there. Confirmation is the acceptance criteria actually.
Okay. What is conversation you told?
Conversation is kind of what we discussed, what we're doing, the conversation which within the team we made that.
Okay. I asked the second question.
Yeah.
Give an example for user story?
User story.
Just an example. How an user story looks.
Okay, Epic will be divided into user story. User story will be derived using the Fibonacci series by using the tool of planning poker, and then user story may be divided into subtasks, and then user story need to be completed within the sprint. This is all about the user stories.
Okay. Okay. So, okay, consider that your team members are bored of working on the same type of projects, okay, for several sprints.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
how do you encourage them as a Scrum Master? They are feeling that they are very bored in working in same type of work.
Okay. For this situation, I will work with my product owner, and I will have a one-on-one with my product owner that our team has been bored with the same repeated work. Whether we can cross-functional team with the different technologies with the different techniques, and we can for in the upcoming sprint can we engage our team in different picking a different user stories, not the repeated one. Like that, I will use to discuss with my product owner, and I will make my team more engaged actually.
Okay. Mm. 1 minute. Can you explain planning poker?
Planning poker is a tool that is used to derive the Fibonacci series of the addition of the last two numbers we used to for the Fibonacci series. With the tool, we can pick up the story points actually. It is a tool actually. Planning poker is a tool.
Mm. Okay. Mm. Okay. So what is the difference between a sprint backlog and a product backlog?
Sprint backlog will be planned at the time of the sprint planning, and then product owner authorize and approve to make it will be pushed to the sprint backlog, and it will be assigned for the different individuals in the product development team. And the team will work on the sprint backlog to achieve the sprint goal.
Okay. Okay. So can you tell me some process improvements that you have implemented as a Scrum Master?
Process improvement. Processing. Yeah, I am process improvement. What kind of process improvement? Process improvement on the weekly basis, we used to have a team performance actually progress actually. That what previously there will be no rollout of sprint burn up and burn down chart, and then that I used to take it as a challenge, and I will used to rotate on the daily basis. These are the improvements I done in my previous organization, and then the team came to know with my mail of the burn up and burn down chart whether where we stand and what we are doing towards achieve the sprint goal. Actually, these are improvements I came into my organization. For the progress of team, I used to keep this improvement.
Okay. Okay. So what are the different types of report you share to your management?
Different type of report.
Yes.
Sprint report.
Okay.
And then the sprint um, completed successful ratio.
Okay.
Then what I can share to the management. Burn down and burn up chart I will share. And the stakeholder feedback, what are the feedback we received from them and how we overcome over that feedback, and what are the correction has been done towards that feedback. Stakeholder feedback.
Okay.
And then
okay, moving to the next question. So can you explain what is the servant leader?
As per my point, Scrum Master or the servant leader, actually, we need to serve the team, we need to help the team to remove the impediments, and we need to guide the team and the product owner whether the Scrum process has been understand fully, and we need to help the team actually to remove all the impediments actually.
Okay. So, so consider you are at the end of a sprint. Okay, you are at the end of a sprint, and you need some re-estimating of some user stories. Okay, so under which circumstances will you do that? Re-estimating stories.
Re-estimate loading, we will be doing at the product backlog refinement. We will re-estimate, we will refine and we will re-estimate the user story to satisfy the definition of ready. Actually, at the time of backlog refinement, we will used to do this actually.
Okay. Okay. So, is it possible that you come across different story point for development and testing effort? For example, consider that testing team is giving a separate estimate and development team is giving a separate estimate. Okay. So how will you handle this situation?
Okay, for the user story point, right? Yeah, I will compare with my previous sprint, which was done. I will calculate the velocity of the previous sprint, how many user stories has been completed in how many sprint. Using the velocity planning, I will derive with the both estimation, and I'll work out with the product owner, and I will look for the velocity actually, and then we'll go with for a velocity actually.
Okay. Okay. So, can you tell like why we are going with Fibonacci series for estimation?
Fibonacci series will be the best practice that we used to follow in our organization actually. Instead of hours, we are using the story point for writing our user stories. Actually, apart from that, that's it about.
Okay. Okay. So, how do you view a velocity chart in Jira?
Velocity chart in Jira. Actually, velocity chart can be viewed under the backlog with the previous sprint. Based upon the number of sprint we have completed, under the backlog we can view the velocity actually. Sprint backlog.
Okay. So what is a JQL and where it is used?
JQL is the Jira coded language. For example, if the management team is asking the report for the last 6 months, we can't go manually picking up of the last 6 months report, which are the user stories has completed. To avoid that, to overcome the situation, JQL is used. JQL is a Jira coded language. There is a set of coding is there. With that coding, we can fetch the completed reports. What are the reports they are requesting from the stakeholder end or from the management end? We can pull the report from the tool using the coded language actually.
Okay. Okay. So how do you start a sprint in Jira?
Yeah, we can find the product. You can find in the backlog with the product name. And the product backlog has been moved into the sprint. From there, we will click on start a sprint. It will get started from the day one. For every sprint, there will be a separate project name. From there, we can click on start a sprint. We can start.
Okay. So how will you tag? See, you have worked in Confluence, right? So Confluence, I can see you have mentioned in your resume. So you want to tag a team member in Confluence. So how will you tag them?
Okay. Confluence is a kind of a two-way communicator. Actually, we can mention at and with the username, we can tag we can tag them actually.
Okay, good. So do you have any questions, Raj, to me?
So if I'm got selected, whether what kind of working model it will be, it is in a hybrid or it from work from home.
Okay. See, we are actually right now we are planning to bring resources back to office. So
Okay.
I think mostly it will be work from office for you.
Okay, also okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Any more questions you have?
No.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, good. 1 minute.